Good evening, groovy citizens, and happy Winning Wednesday. So you guys, I hope you all have had a wonderful day. When I tell you it's been hot, I'm pretty sure wherever you're watching this, it's been hot wherever you are, but honey, it has been hot. Earlier today, I had a doctor's appointment. I came out the house and it was, I think, 104 degrees. Right now, my dashboard says it's 99 degrees. So, as you can imagine, even though the sun has gone down, it is still very, very, very humid. But I do believe that tomorrow's the last day that we will see these really high temperatures. And I think starting Friday, I know all through next week, it's only going to be in the 80s. So when I tell y'all, honey, I am looking for that relief, because I really am. Okay, let me just say that, because it is hot. Now let's jump into today's topic, because I promise I won't keep you long. Today's topic is how to stand up for yourself. Let me say it again: how to stand up for yourself. Now, I don't know who needs to hear this, but I can promise you that somebody that's listening to this video, be it today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, you are thinking, wow, you know, I need to do a better job of standing up for myself. And the reality is that a lot of people have a hard time standing up for themselves, because we always worry about what people are going to say, what they're going to think, how they're going to perceive us, all of that good stuff. But let me tell you something, there are legitimate times that you well, I'm not going to even say legitimate, yeah, but you need to stand up for yourself all the time, because if you don't, people will walk all over you. Okay, they will walk all over you. So everybody needs to learn how to stand up for themselves. Not every situation will require the same response, but doing so can make a difference in how you feel about yourself and how other people perceive you. Let me put a pin right there. You know, there are times when you have to stand up for yourself, and you may have to get a little aggressive. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? And then there are other times you stand up for yourself and you don't have to be all mean and rough around the edges and all that other good stuff. You just don't. So you just have to know when to bring out that, what's the word I'm looking for? That inner meanness, if you will, because sometimes it is warranted. Let me just keep it all the way real. Sometimes it really is warranted, but other times I can stand up for myself. As I told you guys before, I heard somebody say years ago that you want to be the kind of person that you can tell a person to go to hell and make them feel so good about going. Honey, you can make them feel so good that they are ready to pack their bags and be on their way. So that's how, ideally, that's how you want to be. But sometimes people will bring that thing, that inner demon in you out, and you have to respond accordingly. But like I said, it can make a difference in how you feel about yourself and how other people perceive you. If you don't stand up for yourself, people are going to see you as a pushover. People are going to say in their minds, you know what, I can do whatever I want because she's not going to stand up for herself. I can tell her to go jump off a cliff and she's going to go do it. She doesn't want to do it, but she's going to go do it because she never stands up for herself. Let me share this and I'm going to move on. I don't know if you all saw the Medea movie where the Tyler Perry's character, say that 3 times fast, his daughter wanted to go to this Halloween party at a frat house. Now, mind you, she and her best friend, well, it was 4 of them. 2 of them, her and one of her friends, they weren't old enough to really be in the frat house, but the other 2 young ladies were. And so she was not supposed to go. They snuck out. She went anyway. And as the movie goes on, you see how disrespectful she is to her father. And she finally comes out and she says, Dad, you let everybody run over top of you. Mom does it and you never say anything. And so the young lady was just acting out, I guess because she was tired of seeing her dad being treated like crap, if you will, and not standing up for himself. So I just wanted to share that with you to show you how when you don't stand up for yourself, other people perceive you as being weak. And that's what she did with her dad. And that's why she treated him the way she did, in a very disrespectful way all the time. So then I go on to say, keep in mind, standing up for yourself doesn't mean you have to do it in anger or with resentment. Not everybody is assertive, so it may take you a little longer to get the hang of things. And like I just said a few minutes ago, everybody's not as assertive. Me, I'm assertive. Trust and believe that. I try not to be, but every now and then I have to be. But everybody is not assertive, and some people really do struggle with having to be assertive. So give it some time. You'll get the hang of it eventually, because what I don't want is for you to go through this life and allowing people to just walk all over you. I see that kind of thing happening way too often. So here's a question I'm asking. Why should you stand up for yourself? Well, when you stand up for yourself, it means that you're looking out for your well-being and defending your self-worth. Now, the other question I had is, why do you struggle with standing up for yourself? Well, oftentimes it starts in your childhood, how you were raised. Maybe you had strict parents who didn't allow you to speak up. And so because they did not allow you to speak up as a kid, it's carried over into your adult life. And so you never learned how to speak up for yourself. One thing that I love about my parents, and I was that parent to my daughter, my parents allowed us to speak up. Now, we couldn't be rude and disrespectful. That was a no-no. But my parents allowed my sister and my brother and I to speak up and say what was on our minds in terms of, within reason. Now, you couldn't be getting all slick out the mouth, because that was a no-no. But you could speak up and you could say, well, I don't think that I should be punished because of whatever your story is. And I've always told my daughter, if you feel differently than I do, we can have a conversation about it. Now, some people may not agree with that style of parenting, and that's fine. You do what works for you. But my daughter and I have always had that open communication, so she's never felt like she couldn't speak up for herself. So if I was wrong, because guess what? Even as parents, sometimes we get it wrong too. And if I was wrong, she knew how to, with respect, say, Mommy, I don't think that's right, because you said this, but this is what really happened. And if I'm wrong, guess what? I can say, you know what, sweetie, you're right. I am so sorry. I was wrong. Please forgive me. So again, it all starts in how you were raised. So here are some ways that can help you speak up for yourself. Let's jump right on in. Number one, know that saying no can be a good thing. So there's nothing wrong with saying no to people, places, and things. If something comes up and you really aren't feeling it, it's okay to say no. I think I shared with you all not too long ago how at church, I love my church. I love the Lord. And sometimes I would be asked to work on committees that I really didn't even want to be a part of. Not that there was anything wrong with the committee or the people on it. It's just that I really didn't have the time to commit to it, or it was just not something I was interested in doing. But I felt like, well, they asked me to do it, so I'll go ahead and do it because, they asked. And then I got to a place where I had to say, Michelle, it's all right to say no. If you don't have the time or you're just not interested, just say that. And it's all right, to say no. People aren't going to, nail you to the cross or anything like that because you said no. Hey, you know what? I would love to, but I just really do not have the extra time right now. I've got so many projects going on. So thank you so much for asking me, but I just can't do it. Or if somebody wants you to give them a ride someplace or lend them some money and you really can't, it's okay to say no. I promise you won't go to hell for it. Number two, use your body when you talk. So stand up straight when you talk. Stand firmly and take your time. Always maintain eye contact while you're speaking. Mumbling and slouching will make you look like you aren't sure about yourself or that you even believe in yourself. So I am always a firm believer that when you're talking to people, I need you to stand up straight. And if you know me, then you know I love to talk with my chest, y'all. You can't really see it, but I talk with my chest. I just do. But you do stand up straight, and you look people in the eye, just like I'm looking at you all. as I'm doing this video, and I'm not looking at myself, I'm looking into the camera, and you say what it is that you have to say. You take your time and you say to the person, look, when you said this or you did that, this is how it made me feel. As you see how assertive that is. Now, I'm not being loud and I'm not being rude, but I'm letting you know that what you said and or did bothered me in some way, shape, or form. As opposed to saying, well, you know, when you said this, it really made me feel some kind of way. And, you know, well, yeah. You see how that doesn't seem confident at all. I was confident when I talked with my chest, because I like to do that. But I looked you in your eye and I told you how what you said or you did made me feel. There's confidence there, as opposed to me looking down and I'm twiddling my fingers and or I'm looking all around, looking everywhere but at the person I'm talking to. So body language makes all the difference. Number 3, say what you mean and mean what you say. Set your boundaries and never apologize for them. I cannot stress this enough, you guys. You have got to say what you mean and mean what you say. If you say, no, I'm not taking on another thing because my plate is full, say what you mean and mean what you say. So, in other words, don't tell somebody you can't do something or you don't want to do something or you're not doing something, and then you start to feel guilty, because sometimes that sets in, and then you want to come back with them, you know, I am so sorry. I really am sorry, but you know, I can't take on anything else. I have too much to do. Don't do that. Say what you mean and mean what you say. So if I say to you, look, I'm not taking this project on. I have too many things on my plate. I'm not interested. Give it to somebody else. That's what I mean. I'm not going to come back and apologize for it. I'm not going to come back and apologize to you because I can't do it. I just can't do it. I'm setting boundaries. I'm teaching you how to treat me. I'm teaching you that when I tell you something, that's what I mean, and I have to mean what I say. It goes back to parenting. You know how we tell our kids something, and then we sit back and we start to feel bad. We're like, oh God, you know, why did I tell little Johnny that? And now you want to come back and make it better. No, you've got to say what you mean and mean what you say. Number 4, practice if you need to. You may need to practice giving your point of view, and when you're by yourself, so that when the time comes, you're ready. If you need to stand in front of that mirror and you lift your chest and you say what you mean what you say, set those boundaries and don't make excuses for them. Keep practicing it, and then when the time comes, it's going to be so natural, it's just going to flow off your tongue. And you're going to be proud of yourself. Number 5, know when to leave. So if someone around you makes the environment toxic, then it's time for you to leave. Don't allow anybody have you acting out of character. I have to catch myself, because sometimes I will allow people to have me acting out of character, as opposed to just saying, you know what, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this at all. This is getting too toxic, and I don't do toxic, so I'm going about my business. You have a great day. Same thing on social media. I see people going back and forth sometimes in the comment section. I'm thinking, why doesn't one of these individuals just say, look, enough? Let them say whatever they want. Don't respond back. You don't have to. They're not making you. Come on now. We have to learn when to just leave. If that conversation is getting toxic, I'm not going back and forth with you on social media or even in person. I'm done with it. I've said what I said, and I'm going to move on. You can do with it what you want. Number 6, take time before you respond. You have the right to respond to what someone says at your own time. Don't let anybody rush you. Y'all, and something else I didn't write in my notes is, don't allow people to try to rush you into giving an answer, okay? So if somebody says, look, I need you to work on this project, so can you do it? And you, well, let me think about it. Well, you know, I don't have all day. I need you to, yes or no, can you do it? You get strict, again, set boundaries, and you say, listen, I said I need to think about it, because I've got to see what else I have on my plate already. I will get back with you tomorrow. Now, if that's not good enough for you, or you can't wait, please feel free to go on and ask somebody else. But you're not going to lock me in right now until I check and see, like I said, what else I have, excuse me, my nose itching, what else I have on my plate. Say what you mean and mean what you say. But also, when I say take a minute or take some time before you respond, also keep in mind about this. Once you say it, you cannot pull it back. So we have to be very careful about what we say to people and how we say it, but really what you say. Because once it comes out of your mouth, you can't take it back. You can apologize for it, but you cannot take it back. So I'm always encouraging people, please be careful and think about what you say before you say it. Because once it leaves your lips, honey, it's out there in the atmosphere. You can never undo it. Number 7, last but not least, always remind yourself that you deserve respect. If you don't remember anything else that I tell you, you need to remember this. And y'all, I'm sorry that I'm losing my daylight. That's why I'm trying to hurry and get this video done. There is no reason why you don't deserve respect from people. If you ever find yourself second guessing yourself, ask yourself this question: why don't I deserve to be respected and have people respect my boundaries? If you ever find yourself in a situation where you're saying, wow, you know what? I don't even know if I truly deserve respect. Ask yourself, why don't I deserve to be respected? You do deserve it. Everybody deserves to be respected. So whenever you think you start to second guess yourself, I want you to ask yourself that question. Why is it that you feel like you don't deserve to be respected? Because you do. Now, here are some times when you need to stand up for yourself. I'll share these with you, and then I'm going to let you be. Like I said, honey, once 7 o'clock or 7:15 rolls around, that daylight goes away quickly. And I'm trying to lighten my camera up here so that I'm not washed out in total darkness. So I have 6 things. Number 1, what was the thing? I said, here's some times when you need to stand up for yourself. Number 1, when you're being belittled. Number 2, when you serve in a leadership position, you have got to stand up, because if you don't, the people that you provide leadership over, they will laugh in your face, honey, and keep on going. Number 3, when you can't take on anything else. Number 4, when you are being mistreated. Number 5, when your time is being wasted. And number 6, when it's in your best interest. Everything that I share with you will be in the description box. And on that note, I'm going to wish you all a good night, because like I said, my daylight is slowly leaving me. So that's it, you guys. I just wanted to come on here and encourage you, to let you know that you deserve to stand up for yourself, because you deserve to be respected, and you deserve to have to not only set boundaries, but have people acknowledge those boundaries and respect them. You deserve to be respected. And don't you ever, and I mean ever, never let anybody tell you you don't deserve to be respected. Because I've heard somebody say this to someone else: well, why should I respect you? I can remember back in the day when you used to do this or used to do that, or used to hang out here or there or wherever. Let me tell you something. I don't care what you did in the past. We're talking about right now. And everybody deserves to be respected. So don't let anybody, family, friend, or foe, tell you that you don't deserve to be respected. And don't ever allow anybody to disrespect your boundaries. You set your boundaries and you make people abide by them. You set them for a reason. And don't, because sometimes you set your boundaries out to here and you go, well, people aren't even listening to them, so I'm just going to bring them in a little bit. No, you don't. No, you do not. You leave those boundaries right where you set them. Because if you start to bring them in, people will see you as being weak and they really won't respect you. So on that note, you guys, hopefully something I said resonates with you and will help you to be able to stand up for yourself. Again, if you need some coaching in that area, reach out to me. Let's talk about it. And we're going to help you get up and running, because you will be respected. You hear what I say? Now, if this is your first time watching one of my videos, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I do car conversations every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So make sure you come on back on Friday, where I'll have another motivational topic for you. See, my channel is all about encouraging people. That's what I do. I encourage you all. I let you know that you deserve everything good that life has to offer. And that includes being respected, okay? Don't you ever forget that. If this is not your first rodeo, I want to say welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. Y'all know I miss you and I don't get a chance to see you. Go out there, enjoy the rest of your evening. Try to stay cool, because like I said, it's still 99 degrees. So try to stay cool. If you're going out, go out and have fun. Make sure you are safe and you are, whatever it is you're doing it responsibly. I love you all to the moon and back. You know the drill, you know the spiel. There's nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing. Can I cut that light on? Yeah, that'll work a little bit. There's absolutely nothing that you can do about it. Love you. I want nothing but the best for you. Go out there, and we'll talk again on Friday.